Hello and welcome to all you Pisceans. Welcome to the horoscope of April 2013 for the sign of Pisces in general. What is happening and what is happening for you? Well, I made a video separately about the lunar eclipse, and so check it out if you want to know more about that in general. But this month is a lot about the building up of this lunar eclipse, and so you've had your focus on yourself. You really did with that whole stellium in Pisces the last couple of 2 months, and now it's the focus more on the second house and the third house, which is all about your self-worth. The second house, maybe your money, maybe your talents, and the third house is about communication. So especially the last half or the second half of the month is a lot about the communication and the way that you think that comes to the surface. And because also this eclipse is involved in these areas of your horoscope. The eclipse is happening the 25th of April. And it's in the sign of Scorpio, around 5 to 6 degrees of Scorpio. So that is a nice trine with your sign, especially if you do have some planets around 5 to 6 degrees of Pisces. Then it makes a beautiful trine. But what does it mean for you? Now, first of all, so there will be an emphasis on the way that you think, and sometimes people say that's not that important in my life. You know, relationship is important, work is important, but the way that we think can have an effect on all other areas of our lives, and especially because the two houses of thinking are involved. The third house, which is the day-to-day way of thinking, and the ninth house, which is supposed to be the higher thinking, our belief system. And what planet is there in the ninth house? It's Saturn. So I talked a lot about that already in the monthlies, that Saturn is really making some shape in your belief system. That is really a good thing. But the eclipse happens there. And the eclipse on the 25th of April, the moon will be conjuncting that Saturn, and the sun will be opposing in your third house in Taurus. And the sun will also be conjunct on the one side Venus and on the other side Mars. Now the closest aspect around that eclipse is the conjunction with Saturn of the moon and the opposition with Mars. Now, what is this all about? If you want to find out about the general explanation, you can check the video below. But for you here, for Pisces, and especially if you've got a Pisces rising, it is about communication, that some things can come to a head, that some clarification can come, but it is a bit of a challenge, and there's a bit of sadness maybe involved. Why is that? Because this is the flavor of this eclipse, and this can go on a couple of weeks before this eclipse of the 25th of April is happening. That's why I emphasize this whole month about this eclipse, because they are so important. And so for some Pisceans, there could have been confusion in some sort of way, or there could have been issues considering their way of thinking that has over-focused a little bit. And so this is all about this Saturn. So there's nothing wrong with making form and with taking responsibility and identifying things and identifying with certain roles that you have in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. It's only going wrong when you go too far. And this eclipse shows that maybe it will go too far in order to research the balance again after that. So the question that everybody should ask this month is, where do I over-focus too much? Where do I have issues also with trust? Because this is about Scorpio and about Taurus. So in the 3rd and the 9th house, where do I, what about trust and what about my beliefs? What do I trust? What do I believe in? Why don't I believe in something? Why do I think negative of something? What is this all about? These are the key questions for Pisces to think about. Because it can really give them an answer around 25th or even before that or a bit after that. It can give them a very clear answer, but an answer that can also give you some sadness, because that's also what the energy of this eclipse is about. So, and the 9th house is very much a house of truth. So whatever is going on with maybe it has to do with your values system as well, because Mars rules your 2nd house, and Mars is involved here because it makes an opposition to that Saturn and that Moon. So it really wants to release itself. It really wants to know that truth, but it also knows that, you know, it hurts a little bit. But the good thing is, and I didn't mention that in the video of the eclipse, the good thing is that this constellation or this displacement of planets is very much supported in a positive way with Neptune in your sign and Chiron. So this shows that whenever you feel a bit isolated, you know, when it comes to your thinking processes and your overfocus maybe something to the wrong thing, Neptune is saying, hey, there is connection with there is a good connection with all there is, or with God, or with the cosmos, and that connection is very important because there is also healing involved here, you know, with Neptune and Chiron in your sign. So in other words, you're not alone. And Pluto is also making a good aspect with this solar eclipse. It's sextiling it, and Pluto is really saying, hey, but don't lose your hope, because it's in the house of hope and aspirations. And maybe you're getting even support of some friends that you know. And Pluto is also saying this is very transformative and this is very needed for you. So whenever there is an overfocus, there is a need to put that overfocus away, and then you can go on again, even when there is a little bit of sadness involved. So that is what this month is all about. Mercury has gone direct again, and it's also in your 2nd house for a long time. So you will be thinking a lot maybe about your value, your own value, your confidence. Confidence is also very important here. You may be thinking about the way you stand up for yourself. Are you doing this in a good way? Are you doing it too strong? Or the opposite? You know, are you walking? Are you letting yourself walk all over you? Things like that can come to the surface this month. For the other thing, well, Neptune is still in your sign, as I just said, and Jupiter is still in your fourth house, doing its work, doing its expansion, doing its growth when it comes to your very core and when it comes to your identity. Or maybe some people just have moved to a larger house, a bigger house, could be possible as well. But this is the main thing. So letting go of the tension and letting go of the things that we are too attached to is very much, in general then, very much a focus of this month. It's a very it's a very good month, I think, for all of us. I hope you enjoyed it. Wish you all the luck for April, and see you next month. Bye bye.